So I was lucky enough to get the new exotic sidearm, the Trespasser, yesterday. A weapon I knew nothing about, so I was excited to try it out in Crucible and PvE. And even though I wasn't a big fan of sidearms in any aspect of Destiny, I was hopeful that they would have done something with this sidearm that redefined the weapon class, or at least made it more competitive with shotguns or snipers. Just from reading the exotic perks, where it states the weapon shoots with deadly accuracy, and upon reloading after a kill, you shoot a longer and more powerful super burst, it sounded like they were putting sidearms in the right direction. Quickly after using it in PvE, I could see that it was intended as a PvP weapon, with the super burst perk just acting as a modified reactive reload perk. It did do some work in the PvE clips you've seen, but still I felt that snipers and shotguns, or even fusion rifles, dominate the special weapon class over sidearms in PvE at least. The recent buff to sidearm damage, 20 to 30%, almost went unnoticed for me. I tried the Trespasser out in some Year 1 and Year 2 activities, namely some Year 1 Prisoner Elders and some Challenger Elders, more or less performing the same way. Unfortunately in PvE, it's still an underwhelming weapon simply because it's a sidearm, despite having the hit scan bullet velocity, the deadly accuracy, and the mediocre super burst perk, which in all honesty just drains your ammo more quickly. Okay, so moving over to PvP, where you'd expect the weapon to shine in comparison, unfortunately it didn't offer enough to warrant use over other sidearms such as the Iron Wreath. The bullets do have high velocity, yes, but the poor range stat of sidearms puts it way behind any primary weapon in terms of damage and range. And as for up close, where sidearms can actually deal reasonable damage, it still takes 3 bursts to kill a target, while a shotgunner can have no issue simply one-shotting you. I get that sidearms are intended to work as a quick switch-to weapon when your primary ammo runs dry, but is also trying to compete with other special weapons which provide far more versatility. I found myself getting outgunned in most of my encounters using this weapon, with kills only coming from if they were already weak or looking the wrong way. I hardly ever beat anyone in a one-on-one, even when I was fortunate enough to have the Unrepentant perk active for the Super Burst, which requires you to hit all 6 shots from the burst to kill the target efficiently. The Super Burst tended to just drain my ammo, which always seemed to be empty. Even in PvE, you'll always need to be looking for special ammo or popping synths, as this thing chugs rounds. To summarise the weapon in its current state, I would describe it as a Hake version of Dreg's Promise without the tracking. That's to say it's an arc burst sidearm with high velocity like Hake sidearms, but loses the tracking rounds that Dreg's Promise provides. These are just my thoughts on the weapon, but the way it is now, it really struggles to keep up with other Hake sidearms. I think some simple tweaks to the weapon could help it give it the edge over others though, such as allowing the super burst rounds to be auto-generated and not to be pulled from your ammo reserve, or changing the element away from arc so it doesn't have to feel exactly the same as Dreg's Promise, and potentially even giving the weapon an intrinsic surplus perk, which could allow for more ammo in each pickup and more ammo held in reserve, to get around the always empty ammo problem. Again, this just represents my experience with the weapon so far. You may have had a completely different take on it, or you may still be trying to acquire it. Either way, I'd be happy to hear your thoughts on the Trespasser. Do you think it's balanced for a sidearm? Do you think it does what it needs to do? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys.